Oh my goodness, how can you not love a kitten that's dressed up as Princess Leia? That's awesome sauce. All right, so I am going to basically subtract tangent theta from both sides, so those are going to disappear. So you have a -2 radical 3 times the tangent of theta, okay, equals a 3 secant theta. And this is one that you're kind of like in the same boat with the sine and the cosine, where it was just a singleton sine, a singleton cosine. You don't really have anything that you can do to relate them. So what you can do is square both sides, okay? When you are squaring a number with a radical, please remember that you are, squaring the 2 and the radical 3. So it's really going to be a 4 times a 3, or a 12. So this side is 12 tangent squared theta, and the other side is going to be 9 secant squared theta, okay? This tangent squared is now we can actually use a Pythagorean identity now. So we've got 12 times the secant squared minus 1 equals 9 secant squared theta. And so now it's nice, we have secant squared on both sides. That's what we're going to work with. We're down to basically, in terms of algebra, you're down to basically one variable that you're working with. So distribute your 12, so you get 12 secant squared minus 12 equals 9 secant squared. I'm going to subtract 12 secant squared. My squareds look like 7s. Sorry about that. From both sides. Squared theta. Okay, I gotta give myself a little bit more room. Hold on. Whoop. Okay, there we go. So you get a -12 equals a -3 secant squared. Right? When you divide both sides by -3, you get a 4 equals secant squared theta. And when you take the square root of both sides, you got to do positive -2 because you're in big kid math, and that equals secant of theta. And remember, secant of theta is is 1 over cosine. So you would do 1 over cosine theta equals a positive -2 over a 1. Cross multiply divide, you get your cosine theta equals positive -1/2. So you go and you grab all the places where cosine is basically 1/2 or -1/2. Those places are pi over 3, pi over 3, there we go, 2 pi over 3, 4 pi over 3, and 5 pi over 3. And again, we are solving equations, so we should be checking every solution that we get, but it's very important to make sure that we solve, or we check when we square something, because we've created those possible extraneous solutions. These two right here are your extraneous solutions if you plug it back in and you check it. And guys, if you're freaking out about the whole checking things, my suggestion to you is switch your calculator over to degree mode and literally just take your pi over 3, it is 60 degrees, right? Yes, I had to think. Pi over 3 is 60 degrees. Take it and plug it back in to the left side here, right? And just calculate it. -2 radical 3 tangent of 60 plus tangent of 60. Like, just plug it into your calculator to check it. But when you do, you get those two that actually work.